I also have to mention one thing. Apparently, there's all this talk about donuts. You remember how in the first trial I brought donuts to our line sitters, the people we became friends with, I became friends with during Lori's trial, and that day the jury had a verdict. Then I did it again in Chad's trial, and that day the jury had a verdict. I didn't do it in the last one, but was close. Well, now the judge said today that he's going to bring donuts for the jurors when they actually convene a jury. He'll bring them donuts. If you watch our YouTube channel, you know when Jordan was here, my colleague last time, we drove around and actually went live trying different donuts. All this talk about donuts. Oh, and then I just found out National Donut Day is Friday. So what I do tonight, I went to Krispy Kreme. I wasn't gonna eat it in front of you here, but it was delicious. And the kid remembered me. The kid that was in there, he's like, "Hey, I remember you. You got shorter hair. I got a haircut." He was so nice. He gave me a free donut. So anyway, there's your donut picture for the night. They were hot off the fryer, covered in glaze. Just a lot of fun, a lot of good stuff there. Had to end on a light note considering this weird day. Let's get to your shout outs and your questions here. Okay, Peggy, I know you sent them to us. Shout out to Peggy, who's watching and wants to thank you all for the nice anniversary well wishes yesterday. Charlene or Clarine Brown from Rexburg. Thank you, Clarine. Pam Lyons from Comanche, Iowa. Elizabeth Wells from Connecticut. Happy birthday, Elizabeth. Thanks for watching. Lisa W. from Filer, Idaho. I've driven through Filer. Thanks for watching, Lisa. Liz Roberts from Belfast, Northern Ireland. Heidi Rockwood from Rigby. Ashley Reese from Carrollton, Georgia. Good to see you here, Ashley. Risa Greenwood from Afton, Wyoming. Charla Spears from Blackfoot. Mother and daughter named Tatum and Stephanie watching me from Gilbert. Thank you so much. Marjorie Carpenter from Sandpoint, Idaho. Good to have you here. Sandra Peters from Northern Nevada. Ange Perkins from North Indiana. Jean Nellies from Scotland. Virginia Bradshaw from Perth. You've watched since Hawaii. Thank you. Perth, Washington. And Tash Sardi from Qatar, Middle East, where it's 5:30 in the morning. I hope you're eating a donut for breakfast, Tosh. Gwenda Reynolds from Australia is also there. Peggy, do we have any men on this list? We have a lot of ladies watching. Men, comment. We'll have to add you in tomorrow. We'll say hello to you. I appreciate anyone that watches. I want to show you a photo of this wonderful woman. I won't reveal her age. She does not look her age. She sent me a beautiful little Courtroom Insider thing that she made. She mailed it to me to my office, and then she followed up with some letters. I wrote her back. I meant to bring the little thing with me, but I didn't, and I'll show it to you one day. She came to court today. We got a picture together. There it is. There we go, right outside the courtroom. Such a nice lady. She waited outside the courtroom. There we go with our light to get a photo with me. So thank you very much for your kindness in sending me that. And it's always great to meet you all. There were some familiar faces in court today who I knew in Idaho who came back for this trial. And some that came in, I feel bad like for today and tomorrow, but there's no court. So I guess that's just how it is. Questions. Elizabeth, how long can this go on? Can she be sick forever? She can't be the first to try this move. She can't. It's, as we kind of talked about that with Rachel, it's kind of in a weird spot because I think the judge will set so many, benchmarks, and he's giving her 2 days, all day today and all day tomorrow to recover. So I think Wednesday, we'll see. We'll see where it ends. If Lori keeps staying sick, would the judge be able to say she's not able to represent herself and then get an actual defense attorney so we can get on with this? I don't think so. She does have the right to represent herself, and that's what the judge has kind of said today. Like, okay, I'll give you the time. Now, Wednesday, if she cannot continue on, if she's diagnosed with something, I would think the judge might encourage the jail to do some testing or something. My worry is, what if her attorneys come down with it? What if they end up with COVID tomorrow, or other people in the courtroom, or they can't show up? I would be really, really nervous if I was the attorneys getting in small rooms, smaller than this hotel room, in close proximity with her, discussing these sicknesses and not wanting to. I mean, I left the courtroom and went and washed my hands. I just am paranoid like that. So I don't think she can stay sick forever. Emmy, in all of your time on this trial, have you ever seen Lori act like this? I have not. I haven't. I know a lot of you think she's faking. I know Mike Watkis thinks she's faking. I don't think she's 100% faking. We all have different tolerances of sickness. I might go into work dying and they might have to say, go home, you are sick. Whereas other people get a cough and they stay home. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying that I think she was sick, sick enough that she needed a wheelchair, sick enough that she, couldn't go on for the day and have her attorneys do the work. And she just sits there. I don't know. Now, the next person, Anna, says, is there a possibility Lori can conduct her business via Zoom or video call? That's a good point. That is an interesting point. Um, the thing is, because she's the defendant, they're not supposed to know like that. They know she's on trial, but she would have to dress up, which she was dressed up today. So she did get in her normal clothes today. She was not in a jailhouse uniform. And I don't know, maybe it's possible she could be on Zoom and they would tell the jurors that she's not here. She's watching via remote or something. I don't know. It would be convenient if she just let her attorneys choose the jury, but it sounds like they didn't feel comfortable doing that when she didn't want them to do that. Sean says, was Lori dressed in street clothes? Oh, just answered your question. No, she was in her normal clothes. And I think she dressed up just in case the jurors were brought in. Can the general public be in the courtroom while a jury is selected? If so, has there been a lot of general public there? Yes, with a caveat. The general public can be, but it all depends on numbers of seats. And because there are 60 jurors that came down, 54-ish, they have precedent and they took up one side of the courtroom. And then I think today, like 15 members of the public got in. There were a few that did not. The media gets the back row. There were 10 of us. And then once the jury's picked, everyone can go in. So there is a limit kind of on that. On Friday, there were like 5 people there. Of course, there were more today thinking that we'd have opening statements after jury selection, but a lot did not get in. I imagine that's how it'll be Wednesday. There were some people that just really want to see Lori. So I imagine on Wednesday, people will be there to try to get in and see how it goes. If they make a mini series or a movie out of this Daybell saga, who will play you? They did. They did do a movie. I won't show you the movie. It was on Lifetime, and I won't comment on how awesome it was or not. I did watch it. They sent me a copy. This is the guy who played me. He's actually a mechanical engineer. You know what? Is it okay? I'll play you the trailer. And you can see what you thought of it. This is like a 30-second clip.
Did Lori truly believe the things Chad told her about the Dark Souls?
That's me.
And the mission and the end of the world?
She wanted to. She needed to.
Why is that something she would need?
I don't know, it's like there's this emptiness she's trying to fill.
And Chad finally filled it.
Yes. But she said to me early on, Mel, if he's Satan, he's a good one.
That was Melanie Gibb. That was a direct quote from the interview I did with Melanie Gibb. So this guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. His name is Spencer Lord. Very nice guy. And when I interviewed him, I interviewed him for a story. This was back in 2021. So this is 4 years. He said that he studied all of my interviews and interactions. So anyway, but if I could choose someone to play, he's far more handsome than I am and has more hair. If I could choose someone to play me, geez, I don't know. My wife says like, Zac Efron, because we look so much alike, me and Zach. Nancy Wilson. Is this the Nancy Wilson I know, Nancy? If it is, hi, I interviewed you. Why can't the judge just order her to be there? On Daryl Brooks' trial, he tried the sick thing and the judge ordered him to be there and wear a mask. He was acting as his own attorney. Maybe that's the next step. The judge is taking these kind of baby steps to make sure that things are happening, and that could be the next step. Trudy asked if Lori had a mask on. She had a mask. I didn't see her wearing it. Is one able to order special things like broth and oranges? I don't know. I imagine if you're sick, you might be able to request that, or they could bring it in. Was the advisory council will have said no into representing her today? With the advisory, Carrie, with the advisory council will have said no to representing her today. I don't know what you mean, Carrie, but Lori said that they didn't want that. We have not heard from them. They consulted with her in private, so we don't know exactly what was said. Is there a statute of limitations for the conspiracy and attempted murder in Arizona? Thinking about Melanie P. That's a good question. I know on a lot of murder cases, and this falls under the felony murder category in Arizona, there is no statute of limitations for murder and even rapes in a lot of states now, because you find that now people are getting tried for murders 40 and 50 years ago. So if that's how it is in Arizona, which I'm not 100% sure, I would imagine there is no statute of limitations. Any word on the motions the judge was going to write his response to on Friday from BJ? We went over that earlier, BJ. If you missed it, you can check it out. He denied them all. Ashley, does Lori have to be checked out by medical personnel at the jail, or can she just say she's sick? I would think if she shows up Wednesday and a medical professional has not seen her, or she says they haven't responded to her, I think the judge will say, okay, that was on you. You were supposed to get it done. You didn't get it done. We are going to proceed. And then it would be interesting to see what happens there. Paul asks, will there ever be justice for Joe Ryan? That's a tough question, Paul. Joe Ryan was cremated, and I don't believe that there's an investigation into that case. So if there was anything nefarious, I don't know how to answer that. Why is the video that was taken of Melanie P outside of Brandon's house with Alex not being used in this case? Wendy asks. Well, that was in Utah, and I don't know. I have no idea why it's not. There's a lot that, actually, we don't know. Maybe it will be. I shouldn't say I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it is brought in. If it's not, that's something I could ask the prosecutor when the trial's over. What if they go on without Lori in this case? Will that give her a better chance for appeals from Rosemary? Yeah, I think they need to have her. I mean, she's the defendant, especially against her will. She would argue to be there. What kind of advice can Lori's counsel give her? Can she ask them for case law, or must she investigate that herself? It's all up to Lori. It's whatever Lori wants from them. She can ask them questions. She can investigate. I know she investigates. She's got legal books and knows how to cite case law. It's all up to whatever advice she wants. She can ask. What are the chances his case can be turned over on appeal? I think the same chances as others. The judge is being careful, though, and what he's granting and giving her time and laying out the record. So rather than rushing it through, I think that the judge is doing the best that he can to help in the appellate process. It will go to appeal. They always do, whether there's any strength in the appeal or any legal recourse, that will yet to be seen. Okay, I think we're going to stop there. So Peggy, save some of these other ones for tomorrow. We're going late. I apologize for that due to the technical glitches. One other question from Amanda. Why was today's video more like a video court feed? Because it was, Amanda. That's exactly what it was. Good question. What happened is the video camera from Court TV was set up and ready to go, but we cannot show any jury selection. We did not know what was going to transpire. We assumed all the jurors were going to be brought in, and then that would have been really bad if they recorded it. Therefore, once things got underway, they couldn't just suddenly start going because we weren't sure. After the fact, the court records video all the time, and it's called the FTR, for the record. And what happened is, after the fact, we asked if we could get a copy of that, and that's where we stand. All right, two other questions. Linda, hey, Nate, saw you on an old episode of Let's Make a Deal. Did you go on both trips that you won? We didn't go on either trip that we won, Linda. This was back in 2012, I think. My wife and I were going to Australia. We stopped in LA for a night. We went to Let's Make a Deal. We got picked. I was dressed as a banana. She was a sock monkey. And we won the big deal. We picked curtain number 3, and it was 2 trips. One was to Croatia and one was to the Caribbean. And we had to take both within a year, and we had to pay, I think, $6,000 in taxes up front. We did not have $6,000. And if we had, I would say Priceline the cases, but after our experience in Mexico, I don't know if we'd use Priceline. If we had planned those trips ourselves, it likely would have cost less than $6,000. Not dogging on the trips, because they would have been amazing. It was like a massage every day and dinners and everything. But bigger than that, we had to take both trips within a year. There were blackout dates around the times when we could go. And we found out that Erica was expecting Emmy, our first. So we couldn't go. So we turned down the trips. We walked away with nothing. We won nothing. We won the prizes, but we did nothing. But we have good memories. And I told Erica next year I'm determined to get on Let's Make a Deal again with her. I wonder, Basia wonders if the delay trial indefinitely will set up the sentencing date for the guilty of conspiracy to murder Charles beforehand. Oh, you're wondering if they'll sentence her on that before the other trial. I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens Wednesday. Wednesday is the big determining day. Personally, I'm hoping it happens. I think we all are. I'm hope it happens Wednesday and we go through Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then we go all of next week. And maybe we still have a verdict by the end of next week, but we shall see. And this is where you shall see me on Facebook, on X, on Insta, and East Idaho News. If you want to watch that, Let's Make a Deal, by the way, it's on our Meet in the Eatons YouTube channel. You can go watch it. We had a lot of fun and we were much younger and more energetic and more carefree, and now we're tired. No, we're not. Thanks everybody so much for watching. We'll be back tomorrow night, as I said, with a special guest talking about the case. Thanks to Peggy for doing our questions as always. And take care. We'll see you. Bye.